Facilitator today is Mr. Michael Green, and he is a customer service expert. 15 years of experience in customer services, claims and sales processing, and call center operations. He has a leadership and management certificate from the Michigan State University and is a member of the British Society and the Chartered Management Institute of the UK. He also holds a certificate in inspiring leadership and management. He has the proven ability to analyze and resolve customer concerns by using established procedures and examining pertinent information to determine the validity of customer complaints. We welcome Mr. Michael Green to the virtual training platform today, and we look forward to benefit from his wealth of knowledge and experience. At this juncture, I would like to invite Mr. Michael Green over.
Can you hear me so that I could continue? Just get me a feedback, please, if you can.
We can hear you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, good morning once again. Oh, sorry, good afternoon once again. I appreciate this opportunity. All right, so we'll be quickly talking on benefits of excellent customer service in healthcare settings. And by so doing, we will yeah. So basically what we'll be discussing today is that we know that every organizations depend on customer service. Due to rising customer expectations, delivering excellent service is no longer a choice, but a necessity.
Baba, yọjú sí Miss Bello, kí ni yẹn wà very important. Wọ́n ti lọ sọ́dọ̀
Hello. Yeah,
hello, Mr. Green.
Yes,
please go ahead.
Okay, good. All right. Our learning objectives today, at the end of this presentation, you'll be able to equip your frontline personnel with effective customer service techniques and skills to provide service excellence. The second one we're going to learn today is we'll be able to manage and handle customer interactions and relationships. Then we'll find out and respond to each customer's needs and expectation. Then furthermore, we'll be able to heighten customers' positive feelings towards your own organization. Then also, we'll be able to identify the elements of a good customer service encounter that has to do with customer experience, that is per each member of customer that comes to access care at your facility. Then we will note the two elements of services that must be provided to meet every customer's basic expectations. Afterwards, we'll see how to identify key expectations of customers and who have the service providers with them, and how to influence these expectations to meet your own need too. Then finally, we'll be able to determine how to handle customers' complaints and ensure service recovery, because recovery is very, very pertinent. Wherever the service has failed, how do we recover them? What do we do to ensure that the recovery processes are done adequately well? All right. So going by this, we understood the fact that every organization depends on customer service. And due to the rising of customer expectations, delivering excellent customer service is no longer a choice, but a necessity to every one of our organizations. So when you, as a provider, equip your frontline staff with the skills to create a quality experience for your customers, you differentiate your organization or your facility from the competition that you have within you or around you to enhance your customer satisfaction and your organization's image, because you are selling a brand. All right. So basically, when you do this, you will have enhanced your brand, you will have enhanced your image. So now going forward, the content we are going to look into today will be customer service overview, then the customer satisfaction and retention, how you'll be able to retain the customers you have, whom you call patient or enrollee. You'll be able to retain them to ensure that they do not move from your facility to other facilities. Then the two elements of services, we're going to look into that. Then the module 4 will be managing and influencing customers' expectation. Then afterwards, we're going to see the complaint handling process. And of course, the last one, the service recovery process that we're going to review. Then the module 1 is about customer service overview. Now, what is customer service? Now, I term this to be an organization's ability to identify and supply their customers' wants or needs. There are differences between wants and needs. Of course, there are some customers that actually need a spectacular services, and there are some that will go for the want. Whatsoever you have provided for them is what they have. But let us look at the Institute of Customer Service definition as regards this. The sum total of what an organization does, that is, you as an organization, is first to meet customer expectations, and secondly, to produce customer satisfaction. All right. Now, meeting customer expectations is actually different from customer satisfaction. All right. We're going to come there. Let's look at, so why do we care as providers? Why do we care about meeting customers' expectations and producing good customer satisfaction? Because this is what we do, and that is why we exist. The reason why we exist is to ensure that customers or enrollees or patients keep coming when they need our services. If you do not give them the appropriate services, of course, they will leave. They will go elsewhere to find such service that they need. Then secondly, why do we care? We care because we are in business that delivers a service and product. If we don't compete, we are out of business. Competition is everywhere. We want organizations to live to that expectation as indicated in our policies. So, for example, we need to give the adequate care to deliver the service and product as promised to ensure that we keep those customers. So if the complaint is resolved on the spot, I could tell you that 95% of customers will repeat their business with you. If they complain about a particular experience in your facility and you have a team that meets up with those particular expectations immediately, I could tell you that you will retain 95% or more of such customers. The average business spends 6 times more to attract new customers than it does to retain the existing customers. Then thirdly, one dissatisfied customer will tell at least 9 other people. Each of those 9 will tell 5 more. At least 54 people will hear about unpleasant experience in your organization, and you don't want this to be. So now looking at it, what is a good customer service? Before we go to the next slide, what is a good customer service? Good customer service is engaging each customer in a manner that meets the customer's need to the best of the company's ability. We have KPIs, key performance index, that we've we've outlined for ourselves. We have processes that we have structured to meet up with. So we must do things, or our company's ability is as meeting those needs as expected. And of course, it's engaging and thoughtful opinions about customers' experience. The customer leaves happy. The customer is willing to tell others about his or her experience in your facility. The customer is willing to access or return to your services joyfully. I have an example. There is a particular complaint that was raised, or let me say question that was raised in a particular training that I had one time, and one of the experienced customer indicated that I went to this particular service and I discovered that they gave me upward service, although it was cheaper. But I went to this particular one and they gave me a premium service, although it was more expensive. But I would want to repeat my business with that particular service provider, basically because he does not mind to pay more, but he saw that he could retain quality, or he could actually acquire quality from that particular sphere. All right. So we therefore need to know what the customer's expectations are to ensure our customer satisfaction is up to date. That activities are occurring as expected. That is those things we've outlined, that look, when customers visit us, they meet actually that their expectation, we deliver as expected to them, that the deliverables or output meets the expectations of the customers, and that the anticipated value that has been expected from the customers is received whenever they are accessing the services as needed in our facility. All right. So there are 3 general levels of customer service. Look at the next screen now. the poor, the acceptable, and the excellent. All right. Then based on the quality of service encounter, a customer will either be satisfied or dissatisfied or delighted. Knowing a customer expectation is instrumental in developing a strategy for meeting or exceeding your customer's expectation. So let us look at poor. Poor indicates that failure to meet your customer's expectation. All right. Then acceptable, all right, indicates that customer expectations are met but not exceeded. Then of course, excellent, where every one of us are, envisaged to be. Customer expectations are exceeded. That is, we meet the acceptable one and we exceed what they are expecting from us. So let us look at some key attributes of customer service. Those key attributes are this: security. Now, when you're setting up an organization or you're setting up a facility to attend to customers, to serve customers, you need to look at the security, the safety of the environment to the customers. I want to come and access care in your facility. I look at the environment where you are. I look at the safety of that environment. Of course, when I'm in, let's say I'm driving, my car is secured. My property that I brought with me is secured. The environment I'm accessing care is secure. The tangible, the product and resources. The customers will look at the product and resources. Does this product worth it? Then the resources that is being utilized to deliver this particular product to me or the services to me, are they worth it? Then access, ease of access to service and your opening hours. We have some facility that runs 24 hours shift, and we have some that does like clinic settings that does morning till evening and of course close. Of course, I would prefer to access service that runs a 24-hour service, knowing the fact that anything could occur to me or any member of my family, and we want to have this ease of access to that particular provider or to that particular service. Reliability: does equipment work properly? Robust operational procedures? Do you have light running in your facility 24/7? All those things are key things when it comes to service to me. Even to you, when you access service in a particular parastatal, you want to ensure that reliability, there is reliability, there is access, there is tangibles, there is security. Courtesy, politeness of staff that is being utilized to give me service. Are they polite? Are they respected? Are they respectful? Do they actually respect my appearance? Do they give me that first-hand treatment whenever I come to your facility? Communication. The staff, do they have appropriate interpersonal skills to communicate with me adequately? Can they actually discuss with me to the knowledge of my skills or to understand the reason why I'm there? Responsiveness. Are they willing to help? Can they go the extra mile to deliver that type of service I want? What about the credibility? Customer-centric? Customer comes first. Do you pull that as a yardstick to deliver services to your customers or to your patients? Will you keep the promises you've made? Will you ensure that all those promises are being kept whenever I visit your facility? Understanding the customer. You talk and listen to your customers. Do you have staff that could give this adequate treatment to the customers whenever they come to access care? These are all those attributes that is needful when you're delivering service to your customers. So poor customer service, we're going to quickly look into that, is an indicator for bigger problems. Poor customer service is an indicator for bigger problems because, of course, poor customer service will take off retention of your customers or your patients. It will take off your meeting the revenue as expected in your organization. So for poor customer service, performance is often a symptom and indicator of underlying issues with your organization. You need to look critically into that to retain your customers. A company that provides excellent customer service is likely to have robust and redefined processes and systems. Of course, we have example of such. Now, companies that provide poor customer service are likely to struggle with process and inefficiencies. Of course, staff training and data quality. All this just impact customer care. They also impact the cost of operations because, of course, when services are not delivered optimally or as expected of your organizations, you'll keep spending money. You'll keep wasting money on trainings. You keep wasting money on ensuring that the proper tools are put in. But of course, that's not it. It is because your staff has not imbibed, or the organization in a whole has not imbibed the good customer service culture. All right. So let's say that why do customers leave? Have you thought about the reason customers leave? Because customers don't seek healthcare services when they are feeling well. Have you thought about that? More importantly, enrollees want healthcare organizations and their employees to show they care about their needs, situation, and well-being, which is demonstrated during every interaction. Now, let us look at reason number one. Customers move up and down the market. Of course, your business, like all other business, serves a small segment of a very large market. You give excellent service to people in your segment of the market, but other companies offer other solutions that match the needs of other segments. All right? So you could see this is one of the reasons why customers will move up and down the market, all right? Moving from one provider to the other, because of course, a provider might not be able to provide everything the customer needs at that particular time. But you should be working towards ensuring that you are able to provide that, because when you do that, it's part of retention. You don't make them to spend money elsewhere, all right? So what happens when your customers leave your market segment? Of course, you lose customers. This happens in all industries. If they taste what they've not tasted before, or what you lack to give them in your facility, they go elsewhere and they see that, they will move. And when they move their family. When they move their family, they move all friends and loved ones. They move colleagues. They tell them about the experience they've had in other facility. The second reason is that they are unhappy with the price. If the price you're giving them is not actually friendly with pocket, of course, Lashma has given a very good price, and that is the reason why you have more release with your facilities. So the price must be friendly to them. It must be reasonable to them. The number three reason is that they are unhappy with the product. If the product or the particular service you're rendering to them is not adequate enough or does not match with what you've promised them to give, of course they would leave. All right? They are unhappy with the way that they are treated. That is even the most important thing. You have staff that are not given the appropriate treatment. You have staff that are rude. They don't welcome the customer. They don't treat them with empathy. They would leave you. So we need to keep this up to date. So behaviors that turn off customers. Let us quickly look into that. All right? Your customers can be happy, of course. They can be happy with your pricing, all right? And one thing again is that it helps to understand that each and every customer service agent or executive or staff or unit or department is the face of your organizations for the customers, and hence should be knowledgeable enough to give correct information and provide suitable solutions to whatsoever the customer has come there for. So let us quickly look at the behaviors that turn off customers. Number one, I'm at your staff. I'm at your staff. If you have a small team of customer service agents, it helps to train them adequately so that they can represent your organization. Training is very, very vital. It helps to put them in the right place. It helps them to understand the process, the policies. It helps them to understand the product of the organization, how to do it, how to deliver that. So for management staff, for board members of a particular provider, you need a lot of work to do to train up, especially if you have a high attrition rate within your sector. You need to train up your staff so that they can adequately attend to your customers appropriately. Trying to win an argument, this is one thing that turns off customers, all right? You can only win an allegiance of a customer and loyalty by empathizing and apologizing. And that even holds the truth when it's not your mistake. If it is not your mistake, of course, you should still apologize. It's not only when it's your mistake you apologize. You need to learn how to apologize about a particular service or a disgust of a customer. You can certainly win an argument by defending your company or reacting to your customer's complaint. If you do that wrongfully, then you are showing them a way out of your organization. And of course, that does not encourage retention. Rigid policies. You have a policy with your facility or with your organization, and the stringent policies are not being able to bend. Of course, you're telling the customers to go elsewhere. They would not be happy with that. Yeah, there are policies. We are supposed to uphold policies. But where the customer needs or where you've added empathy, you can discuss with your supervisor or with the MD of the organization as regards reviewing a particular policy to the favor of the customer because of retention. Full-time commitments and promises. You make promises, you make commitments, and you're not meeting up for them. Of course, this will make them turn off. They'll make them to leave your business. Dividends. 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 Customers like doing business with accessible company. Like we said earlier in the earlier slide shown with us, every customer wants to access care where they have, where that particular organization is accessible. If you have not kept your customers informed about a point of contact, for example, you moved locations and you've not notified your customer, you don't have a system that will notify your customers. Bulk SMS is there, emails is there. Of course, I believe when customers walk in or when patients walk in, you take their data, you do not inform them appropriately, and you make them to go through the stress of coming to your organization and not being able to access your organization, and probably is a neighbor or probably a particular woman that is selling on a particular junction that told them that the company moved actually 2 months ago. They will be disgusted about that. All right. If you want your customers' loyalty, provide them with accessibility and warmth. It is very, very pertinent. All right. Poor acknowledgement. Failing to provide your customers with appropriate acknowledgement will result in the customers feeling neglected, which will inadvertently lead to loss of business. If a customer is unhappy about a personal or professional loss, expressing concern, commenting suitable, and acknowledging the issue will ensure satisfaction. If you acknowledge that, appropriately, and you channel it to ensure that that is resolved quickly, of course, it will help your business. Then another point is poor records. Poor records. You are referring to Mr. Lagbaja as Mrs. Lagbaja. I experienced something in a bank one day. I was in a bank, and there is one particular, I think it's an engineer, and a particular, the customer service officer was calling, let me just give an example, Mr. Jackson. He didn't answer. They attended to it. The man just sat down. I witnessed this myself. Then the next thing, he called, please, Mr. Jackson. And also, I thought you came up the other time. Are you not Mr. Jackson? And the man stood up before me and said, excuse me, I am not Mr. Jackson. I am Engineer Jackson. So you need to give appropriate recognition to the customers. You need to have appropriate records so as to identify your customers and give the right title to them. Ignoring the basics of customer service, simple acknowledgement so that thank you, sorry still mean a lot to the majority of customers. If you ignore this basics phrase, you can count on losing clientele or losing your clients to other businesses. Call shuffling. This is even disgusting. It's worse and the most common customer service turnoff. If a customer's call and is being transferred from department to department, and if no one is ready to take the responsibility, I can tell you that the customers will be disgusted and will leave. You will keep transferring calls. Those things are not adequate enough. They are not appropriate when it comes to customer service setting. Then apathy and failure to listen. Apathy and failure to listen. Apathy and failure to listen are two of the most unforgivable customer service mistakes I can tell you, because they are often taken seriously by customers. You can often make your customers day by listening to them attentively. When the customers complain, either through call or they walk in to you, listen to them, give them the time to express their feelings. Then, while they are expressing their feelings, you could pinpoint areas to quickly resolve that particular issue. So the first module has been done with, and that is about understanding customer service. That's the introduction. So let's go to module 2 right now. Module 2, customer satisfaction and retention. You recall the fact that we discussed earlier about retention. You want to retain your business, you want to grow your business. Of course, retention is key. Retention is key. So customer satisfaction and retention. What is customer satisfaction? I define it as the perception of the degree to which a customer expectations have been fulfilled. Underline that word or note that word, customer expectation being fulfilled. That is customer satisfaction. Then retention is a strategy whose objective is to keep a company's customer and retain their revenue contribution, because each revenue, like contribution, adds up and makes a total revenue of that particular organization. And from there, it could generate profits or even loss at times. So primarily, it's a aim to prevent customers from going to another competitor, because you have competitor all around. If you don't treat them very well, they move. Then Then we'll quickly look at complaint, although we're going to deal with complaint in another module. Complaint is an expression of dissatisfaction made to an organization related to its product or services where a response or resolution is explicitly or implicitly expected. All right. So let's quickly look at customer satisfaction measures, which of course I indicated that measures the health of our product, services, support, engagement, and expectations. But looking at customer satisfaction and customer retention is not absolutely the same. You may have situations where a customer is satisfied, but is still not retained. I don't know if any one of your business has actually experienced that. You may have situations where a customer will not be satisfied, but is still retained. These are the points we are going to look into, because customer satisfaction, of course, measures all these particular points. So products including physical product and services that are serviced before and after sale. This includes responding to customers' queries and issues, even after you're giving those particular services to them. Then support is the repair, the maintenance, and upkeep of your product or post-sales, the product you've given. So there is a support given in case they have issues with that, and the particular product does not cover the particular service. And why is that? Because not all the enrollees would actually read. So some of them expect that because they bought health, they bought a plan, they expect everything to be covered. So at the point when they need a particular service that is not covered, they come to your facility and they are not meeting up with that, or you're not giving them that. They need explanation. So you need to understand, support. They need somebody to talk to them about that and to convince them the reason why that does not cover, or the reason why they could do that, do otherwise. Yeah, engagement. We will engage customers apart from the above mentioned context in products and services. This includes offering new products and schemes, upsell or cross-sell, process reengineering and enhancement, and of course expectation. That has to do with the customer satisfaction. So let's look at retention. All right, retention. Customer retention is how well the customer stays. Just look at it. I bolden this, stays. They stay and they stays engaged. I bolden it because that is the key word. They stay, they keep staying, and they stay engaged with your organization or with a specific product and services. So let us look at stay. And we'll look at stays engaged, that they keep staying. They sit there. It's as if you glue them to that part, to your facility, you glue them to that particular product, and they keep enjoying it. Now, stay, customer being active and user of your product and services. This is mainly relevant to the product and service. Having an existing contract, this including banking, telecommunication, maintenance contract, and things like that. But stays engaged, which is where we are actually going, because stays engaged is what we want to look into. The customer who maintains or increases the level of relationship. Now, it has gone from ordinary coming to your facility to access care, to building a relationship. Now, you've built a relationship with them. You'll see some patients or some customers will tell you that, no, I want Dr. So to see me. It's because they believe in that doctor. They've built a relationship with that doctor, or that doctor has built a relationship with them. So basically, because of that, they are happy with such services they are receiving, or they are getting from that product or from that facility. So while he or she reduces his average or cancels 2 out of the 3 lines he has got. All right, so let's look at the characteristics. All right, but before we get there, we look at that point in the previous slide, that is customer retention. Then how do we gain excellent customer service? Or how do we deliver customers excellent service? Of course, excellent customer service creates loyal customers for life. And we're still talking about stays engaged, all right? For life, who are willing to refer your business to friends, to families, and to colleagues. They are willing to refer your businesses or your business or your facility or your organization or your company to friends, to families, and to colleagues. So providing this type of excellent customer service starts with a genuine desire to delight your customer. But you also have to think beyond selling your product or services. You need to consider the cumulative experience, the additional experience, or the additions of all the experience of your customers, the one they have when they visit your facility for care access, what they think and feel, and what you can do to make it better. There is a lot of job to do in that regard. All right? So let's look at the characteristics now. The characteristics. Providing outstanding customer service naturally starts from finding and hiring the right employee or the right staff for your customer support team. While perfection can hardly ever be achieved, some people just happen to possess the qualities that makes them most suited or suitable for the role of a customer service representative, while others simply don't. I can't lie to you. In this industry, I have experience, over 15 years experience. And I've seen that some persons, it is like ability. It is what they are, it is inborn. It is something that is in their blood. They just have this empathy to provide service. And of course, few training skills will add up, will make up a good skills, a professional skills to deliver as expected. But why some people don't even have it at all? All right. So the part of the characteristics, point one, is high emotional intelligence. These are those things you need to watch out for when you are hiring your staff to deliver customer service, when you're hiring your staff to deliver as support agent, when you're hiring your staff to deliver as call center executives or call center agents. These are points that you need to look into when you are interviewing your staff. Those staff you want to put at the front end of your business. So EQ means the ability, that is emotional intelligence, means the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions as well as emotions for others. Now, we're not going to stay much on emotional intelligence because it's a course on its own, and I have that in other presentations, but of course not in this presentation and subsequent ones that will be arranged by Lashma. Now, self-awareness is one. These are the four characteristics when you talk about emotional intelligence. So self-awareness, you recognize and understand your own mood, all right? You recognize and understand the motivations, or let me say the emotions of others, so as to manage them appropriately. Now let's quickly look at self-regulation. It is the ability to control disruptive impulses, to suspend judgment, and to think. The ability to think before acting, think before saying, think before responding. All right? You think before responding. You think before you say, before you respond. All right? Now, the internal motivation, the passion to work for internal reasons that go beyond money and status, which are external rewards. You have that motivational skills, the passion, the enthusiasm to deliver as expected of you. I was at a filling station when I was driving, and my fuel got low, and I branched a filling station. It was a mega filling station. We have quite a number of channels where you could purchase fuel, and we have quite a number of cars parked to buy fuel. Then I was roaming around the filling station looking for a smiling attendant that would attend to me. I saw some ladies there, I saw some guys there, but I drove to a particular point of purchase where a guy was smiling and was doing the job diligently. And I was happy with that. And I parked behind to buy. And do you know what I told one of the passenger, one of my colleague that I carried in the car? I said, look, the truth is that if I'm willing to give a job, I would ask for that guy's details and ask him to see me so I could, size him up to see if I could actually give him a job. What motivated me to do that? Because the guy was smiling. He was diligently delivering the service as he was employed to do. That is what we should find in the delivery of our services day in, day out. All right? Internal motivation, a passion to work for internal reasons. All right? Now, empathy. Empathy is very important because that is what we are supposed to deliver from top to the bottom level of the organization. Empathy, the ability to understand another person's emotional reactions. There must be a reason why that particular customer has reacted that way. You want to understand the reason and resolve that reasons immediately. All right? So the next point number 2, positive attitude. Wow. Positive attitude. On top of this positive attitude, it helps to beat the job-related stress. That is even one of the experience that you, as the one delivering that service, will experience. In this digital age, when almost any information can easily be found online, very few people would contact customer support to inquire about product and services. Do you know why? Because they will go online to search. They will search for it. In most cases, support agents or support staff have to deal with angry customers and their frustration. In fact, this is an inescapable part of their day-to-day operations, and it will be nearly impossible to remain calm, professionally, and effectively without being able to maintain a positive attitude. Because I'm telling you, you just discussed with a particular wrong attitude from a customer, and another one comes, and another one comes. Of course, it will keep heaping pressures on you. Your stress level will increase. And by so, you might go to a point of no return. What is the point of no return? A point where you just feel that I need to buy back. But are you supposed to buy back? No, you're not supposed to, because you're delivering service. You want to retain that customer. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So you need to generate that positive attitude, all right? Because genuinely positive-minded people generally tend to look on the bright side of things. You look at the positive side. You're not looking at the negative side of that particular complaint. You're looking at the fact that the person complained to you, and you want to attend to that particular complaint. So of course, you need to be friendly and more engaged with the customers. You need to put in extra effort to deliver a wow service experience. What? Wow. What? Do you understand me? Get along with other team members. You need to take on challenges that others might try to avoid. Why everybody is avoiding that particular customer? When the customer is walking to your facility and you say, she's coming, please, can you please help me attend to that? No, face that challenge, attend to it, make him your friend. Let them be happy about you. Let them be happy about the type of service you deliver to them. They will keep coming. They will tell other friends and families and colleagues. All right? So point number 3 is adaptability and flexibility. You must be easily adaptable and flexible to be a customer service rep. Do you get that? You must be able to multitask efficiently. Because as today's consumers, or as today's customers or patients, they have become much more demanding than ever before. Customer service agents need to be ready. Customer service support needs to be ready to quickly adapt to changing circumstances and client requests. They must be able to handle multiple service interactions at the same time. Customers will not understand you. They don't want to understand your stress level. So you must build yourself to accommodate this. You must be able to switch channels immediately to ensure satisfaction to those customers. You must be ready to play it by ear when necessary is crucial to provide efficient service without feeling overwhelmed. Don't show it on your face. When you need to take a break, take a break. When you need to come back to that job, come back to that job. All right? Don't work when you're stressed. When you're overstressed, it makes that level of temperament to increase in you, and you might exact that on a customer that is asking for his or her right. All right? Then point number 4, the passion for helping people. Wow. This is very, very key. Passion to help people. Passion for helping others may not be everything required to provide an outstanding customer service, but it certainly is one of the key things to look for in a potential candidate. That is, if you want to help or to hire people. When you go into a store, you naturally expect the people working there to love, I don't know, let's say a pet store where they sell dogs and things like that. You expect people there to love animals, just in the same way. Frontline agents dealing with customers should be passionate about customer service and helping people. They must be able to help people, because without passion, the experience is emotionless. Somebody comes to your facility and tells you, I have a toothache and I've been having a headache for the past 5 days. Please, I need your help. Please, can you quickly attend to me? And you said, oh, please, can't you see that you have to join a queue? No. If you say it that way, you are not passionate about helping that person's condition. Even if the person has to join a queue, there are ways of channeling that so that the person will understand that it's first come, first serve. It might not be that emergency care that you need to give actually. Probably you're attending to a particular emergency care. So you need to make them understand adequately well. All right. Now, we'll quickly look at the 5 service dimensions. All right. The 5 service dimensions, which I've mentioned here about reliability, responsiveness, assurance, empathy, and tangibles. Well, and this has to do with delivering service excellence, that is customer service excellence. Because it is not only about exceeding the expectation of customer, but primarily about delivering what is promised and dealing with any problems and queries that arises from such. It is all about the organization being easy to do business with. So the first point you need to think is that, is my organization being able to do business with? Can I do business with this with this particular organization? So let's look at reliability. All right. But before that, let's look at aiming excellence, because I need to let you know about excellence, service excellence. Excellence is delivering high quality services. You're designing effective policies and programs around your business or around the product you've actually put on board. You're engaging and enabling employees to deliver service. You enable your employees, enable your staff to be able to give that service. The tools they need, you give them, you provide those tools to deliver that quality services to all your patients. You listen to your customers, even your colleagues, even your staff, when they make a point of those things needed to deliver excellent service. And of course, you continually innovate and build on results and success. So reliability, all right? Reliability. SAFQual, SAFQual is a multi-dimensional research instrument. We call it SAFQual, service quality, all right? They're designed to capture consumer expectations and perceptions of a service along the 5 dimensions that I've just mentioned on the screen, the one you can see on the screen right now, that are believed to represent service quality. And of course, the inventor is Leonard Berry, he's a professor. Now, all the dimensions are important to customers. All these dimensions you're viewing right now, they're important to customers, but some are more important than others. So service providers need to know which to avoid, majoring in minors. At the same time, they can't focus only on one. You have to focus on all. So here are the importance to customers. Number 1, reliability. Customers want to count on their providers. They value that reliability. Providers' first and best efforts are better spent making service reliable. The reliability of your services, of your product, are key to your customers. Whether it is periodic or on schedule, is that either on site or online, your services, your product need to be reliable. The second is responsiveness. Responsiveness. Waiting a day to return a call or email does not even make it at all. It's disgusting to customers. Even if customers are chronically slow in getting back to providers, responsiveness is more than 1/5 of their service quality assessment. Service providers benefit by establishing internal service level agreements for things like returning phone calls, returning emails, responding on time. You need to develop a KPI to responding to your emails. Responding to your emails. You might develop maybe within 5 minutes, within 10 minutes. It depends on how large or how much traffic you receive each day at your facilities. But design a timing to respond to people's text messages, people's WhatsApp messages, social media, if you're on social media, WhatsApps, email, phone calls. Just do it. Then assurance. Assurance. Service providers must communicate their expertise and competences before they do the work. Your expertise and competences are very, very key in service provision. This can be done in many ways that are repeatedly seen by customers, such as displaying industry certifications on patches, all right, or badges. If you enter some facilities, You see their industry certification. That's the first thing you see at the reception. Display that. Let them know your expertise. Let them know what you could do. Include certifications and logos in emails or letter and report. It is very key. Put certifications in posters, in newsletters, and handouts that you deliver to them. Then communicate competences. Providers can help manage customer expectations and influence their service quality assessment in advance before that customer visits. All right? For example, let us look at empathy. All right? For empathy, as earlier mentioned, you need a staff that has empathy in nature. You need a staff that has empathy in nature. For example, imagine, let's look at a day porter efficiently cleans up a spill in a lobby. Let's say one of these staff, there is a spill, basically maybe blood stains or things like that on the floor, or a patient threw up in the lobby in your organization or probably in the hospital. And you call the staff to clean up, your cleaner, your porter, whosoever you call them, they call them to clean up. While they are cleaning up, the porter or the staff smiles, or let me say doesn't smile, and make an eye contact at the customer that chew up. In this hypothetical, the provider service was performed fully. You'll see, the porter actually cleaned up the mess, or the staff actually cleaned up the mess, but the customer didn't feel the provider or the employee or that particular facility, because they mentioned the name of your organization, added care to what the person was doing. He added disgust. The service was rendered, but with a disgust. It is not necessarily means the employee's fault anyway. They may not know the reason why they are being judged or why they are doing a particular service. So you need to inculcate this in your staff's knowledge, that you need to employ empathy when you're dealing with your patient or your customers. So let's look at tangibles. What are tangibles? Service providers will want to make certain their employees' appearance. That's part of tangible. How does your staff look like? I've visited some hospitals before wherein the nurses wear uniforms, the staff, even some staff, frontline staff wear uniforms. We're not saying uniforms is a must, but you need to provide something that will make your business look so neat, look so presentable. The equipment, the work areas, the closet, the service offices, the theaters must look good. They must look good. The danger is for providers to make everything look sharp and then fall short of reliability and responsiveness. Do you understand that? Now, your business is looking so good. You have this aesthetics, this good environment, this lovely curtailed, a heart of a very good facility, a very good equipment, but you do not have staff that are reliable or that are responsive to your customers. So you could see that reliability and responsiveness are very, very key towards delivering. We quickly move to module 3, the 2 elements of service. 2 elements of services. All right. The first one is technical element, and we have the human element. The technical element and the human element. Let's quickly look at the technical element. This refers to the product. That is the solution, that is the care access, the system. I call it the policies of the organization. I look at the technical part as the policies of the organization. Of course, the deliverable, the result, or whatever you are providing your customers, whatever form the product takes, customer wants it to work properly to meet their needs. All right? You have the policies in place. And that is the technical element of your service. It is a must you have it. However, excelling in the technical element alone may not keep customers coming back unless you also excel in the human element. So let's quickly look at the human element. What is the human element? You can see that on the screen. This refers to the process. All right? And the process, when we talk about the process here, we're talking about how the customer feel when they access care in your facility. How customers are treated, or how they feel they have been treated by your staff. And this human element of service which is exceedingly important in your business, is achieving a high level of excellence service. In fact, for many customers, the process is more important than the product. All right? And this human element is time to be part of the process. All right? So, for example, a customer visits a restaurant. Let's use a restaurant as an example. All right? A customer visits a restaurant for the food it serves, isn't it? Probably you keep visiting if you have a booker join around or you go to a particular restaurant to buy food. You actually visit there, maybe pertaining to the food they serve. The food is delicious, it's completely, it's so delicious to take, it's healthy. That place is neat. Now, the customer's need here is the technical element. That is because they serve good food. The good food, which is the point here, is the technical element. All right. However, the customer who is going to purchase food or is going to sit in that environment to buy that good food, which is the technical element, expect a polite staff, an attentive staff, and a non-intrusive staff to make his experience or our experience pleasant. All right? So if these expectations are not properly met, the customers will leave the restaurant dissatisfied, even if the technical aspect is good, that is the food aspect is good. But whenever I go to that particular service provider, or let me say the food seller, she's always filled with disgust by insulting me, by making noise that why don't I come with change? Of course, I would not want to go there. So you can see that the human element is key in this juncture or at this juncture. So circumstances could change things, requiring a product or information before a certain time or a set of purpose. All right. So now let's look at module 4. Module 4. I hope we all understand the technical element, the technical part, and the human part of service. That two parts, the technical element, which has to do with the tangibles, all right, and the human element, which has to do with how we deliver the service, the human part of it. So we are going to look at module 4 now, managing and influencing customer expectation, of course, which is very key. All right. So now look at this slide, exceeding the needs and the expectation of your customers. Now look at this first point. Are your customers' vision of a future state or action usually unstated, by which is critical to your success? Expectations are not constant. They are constantly changed over time, usually becoming more demanding. Exactly the same product or service may be perceived as being good or poor, depending on the customer's expectation. Like there is this general saying that another man's food is another man's poison. Of course, but one thing we need to do as service providers is to provide an enabling environment to service appropriately. All right. Then the quality of service is about customers' expectation and perceptions, as said earlier. So what are customers' expectations? So what do your customer expect from you as the service provider? When you are a customer, put yourself in that shoe right now as we are discussing. You are a customer or you are a patient. You visit your facility that you work currently, or you're a staff of that organization, and you just put yourself as a customer buying a product and service of that particular organization, and you've walked in. What matters to you? At the hospital, what matters to you? Buying food stuff from the market or buying from a shop? What matters to you? What matters to you? Going to pay your electricity bill or water bill? What matters to you? Buying a roasted corn at the roadside? What matters to you? So put yourself in that shoe. Now, at every stage in your relationship as a customer with your organization or in the buying process, you discover that customers have a different set of expectations. Our expectation differs. It differs. For example, when I am a customer, I want to be taken seriously. I'm telling you about my own expectation, so you can start noting your own expectation. All right? I want to be taken seriously. I want a competent and efficient service. I want to anticipate my needs. I want the explanations in terms as an agreement, service level agreement. I want basic courtesies. Basic courtesies. Good morning. Thank you. Oh, sorry. We are sorry about this. This is what we will do for you. All right? I want to be informed of the options, not to be passed around. I want to be informed of other options. Don't tell me, no, no, what can I do about this? Okay, how do you think I could access the service? Give me options. I want to be listened to. Whenever I'm explaining my disappointment, I want to be told. I want to be listened to. I want someone to listen to me. All right? I want a dedicated attention from whosoever is giving me that service. I want to walk into an environment that is knowledgeable and that has friendliness. All right? And I want to be kept informed. I want to be kept informed. I want to follow through honest feedback.